All right, I think it's really close to 5:45, so we can start our meeting now. I appreciate everyone being here this evening. Our first order of business is to establish the fact that we have a quorum of our board team here. We have accomplished that, so I appreciate all of our board team being here. Our next item on our agenda is item 2, our invocation. We're honored this evening to have C.J. Lucky, the youth pastor from Freedom Fellowship Church, and he's going to lead us in our invocation.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say it's my honor and privilege to lead us in prayer this evening, and thank you guys for everything you do, for your service, for your sacrifices, knowingly and unknowingly, and I'm so excited to lead us in prayer, so if everyone could bow your heads, we'll get started. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you so much for the opportunity, Father, to come before your throne of grace. Father, we just thank you for this board meeting that's about to take place. Father, I just thank you that everything that's going to be said and everything that's going to be spoken, Father, will be done with grace and with humility. Father, give our board members wisdom and discernment, Father, in the decisions that they have to make, which are really tough decisions. But Father, thank you for always reminding us that it's all about our students that we serve, Father, for their betterment, and that it will be beneficial for them, Father. And I just thank you so much that we understand that prayer is most powerful when we ask with a willingness to be a part of the answer, Father. So please give us a heart to be a part of the answer, and we just thank you so much for the success that's going to happen and take place at this meeting, and for everyone that's in here under the sound of my voice. And we give you glory, honor, and praise, and it's in your Son, Jesus' name, we pray, the name above every name. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It is all about the kids, so thank you. I appreciate it. We've got a bunch of great young folks here from Holloman Elementary School, and as they come forward, I'll introduce you to them. We have Sadie Vasquez, Adeseli Mesa, Anna L. Casillas, Myra Pagan, Jerry Van Vagel, and Taylor Medeiros. And if y'all will stand up, they're going to lead us in our pledges.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, y'all can stay there if any of the parents want to take a picture before they. Yeah, they might not want a picture of your backside, but so yeah, y'all can come up, make yourself at home. Tyler, turn around. That a girl.
Yeah.
Great. Thank y'all. Thanks, Ms. Luther, for bringing our students. We appreciate it very much. I'll read our script before we get started. Good evening and welcome. As President of the Board of Trustees of San Angelo Independent School District, I'd like to welcome all of you who are present at tonight's regular board meeting. I also welcome those of you who might be watching the tape of this meeting on our public access channel, Channel 4. We appreciate your interest in our students. All items that will be discussed at our meeting this evening have been posted as required by state law. Also, as you may be aware, our board meets a minimum of 2 times per month, and most, if not all, the items on our agenda this evening have been previously discussed at our pre-agenda board workshop. As members of the San Angelo Independent School District's Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals, listen to reports from our superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, and personnel appointments, and to make policy for the school district. Please keep in mind that our meeting is a meeting of the Board of Trustees held in public and not a meeting of the public. However, with that in mind, we have an item on every one of our meeting agendas that allows anyone present who wishes to speak to our board team an opportunity to do so. I'll make certain that we give everyone an opportunity to speak on any item not listed on our agenda. Additionally, prior to taking any votes, I will ask audience members if they would like to make any comments. Anyone wishing to make comments on any agenda item should do their best to limit their comments to 3 to 4 minutes. In compliance with state law, these proceedings are recorded and will become a part of San Angelo Independent School District's permanent legal record. In order that the tape might adequately reflect the proceedings, I ask that you please refrain from talking while others might be speaking. And I also ask, as I remind my fellow board team members, to please turn off or silence your cell phones at this time. Again, it's my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's meeting. I thank you for taking the time to join us here this evening, and we appreciate your interest in our students and the business of our board. Let's move forward with recognitions, which I'm glad that we have a great crowd here to participate in our recognitions. We're recognizing Central High School and Lakeview High School UIL academic and CTE students, and Mr. Jackson is going to help us with that. Derek, thank you.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. Lehman, Dr. Detloff, members of the board. It is a great honor this evening to be able to recognize so many outstanding SAISD students. We have a lot of kids to recognize, so we're going to get right to it. We're going to begin this evening with our career and technology students. The director of our career and technology program, Mrs. Joy Gay, is here, and she will have our first group come up and get things started.
Good evening, and I want to just briefly, before we let the teachers begin to introduce our students, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here to recognize our kids. We had 102 students qualify from district meets to go to state competitions, and I don't want to rain on anybody, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but we have a representation of all 4 of our CTE student organizations will be attending national competitions starting the end of this week and going through June. So we're super proud of our kids and our teachers, and we just want to thank you all for your support of CTE, not only this year, but for decades in the past. And I'm going to turn it over to Roxanne.
Good evening. I'm Roxanne Fentress. I'm one of the BPA advisors at Central High School. I also had the opportunity to serve as Region 2, Area 4 co-advisor this year for our region in BPA, and we were able to host our Business Professionals America Regional Leadership Conference here in San Angelo. It hasn't been hosted here in several years, and that could not have been possible without your support, without Joy Gay, Martha Rodriguez, West Texas Training Center, and Howard College. So also all of the teachers, the BPA and business teachers from Central and Lakeview, we couldn't have done it without all of you. So thank y'all so very much. I have 4 students in our BPA chapter that went on to state competition. In payroll accounting, Brizeta Garcia. In integrated office applications, Grace Moling. Database applications, Vanita Pacheco, and advanced spreadsheet applications, Hannah Terry. Thank you.
Roxanne.
Go catch them.
Hi, I'm Leanne Hood. I'm from Lakeview High School. This is Nanette Daniels. We don't have all of ours here because they had prior commitments of jobs and getting ready for college and all their applications and stuff. But in front of us, we have Luke Spintana. He did economic research individual, and I believe he did some interviewing up here with the admin building to help with that research project. We have in the middle Josh Rodriguez, who not only competed with an individual of personal finance, but he did a team as financial analysis team, and he served the full year as the state representative for BPA, which also includes a lot of different teacher conferences and putting on and hosting the actual state conference in Corpus Christi. And that was a feat of a year that he really grew and matured and did exceptional things. Then we have Leslie Hernandez. She did legal office procedures, and they did each one of them outstanding, and we had such a wonderful trip to Corpus, and we want to thank Joy and all of you as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandy Conley, and I'm at Central High School. I do the business and finance classes, and we had a total of 9 students that advanced on to state. Present, we have Olivia Dabbert, who placed first at regionals, advancing on to state, in placing 12th at state in advanced accounting. Then we have Wyatt Hayes, who placed third at regionals in extemporaneous speaking. Olivia Dabbert, Wyatt Hayes, and Amaya Sanchez, and Kishan Patel were our members from our global marketing team that placed second and advanced on to state. We also have Carly Rivas, who placed second in prepared speech and advanced on to state. She also was part of our administrative support systems team that placed second and advanced on to state. Then we have Amaya Sanchez, who placed first in integrated office systems at regionals, advanced on to state, and she was also a member of our second place regional team for the administrative office procedures. Then we have Caitlin Lopez, who placed second in medical office procedures at the regional level and advanced on to state, and she was also a member of our second place administrative office procedures team that advanced on to state. So this is our BPA group. Thank you for having us tonight.
Good evening. I'm Judith Kitchens, also with Central High School for a BPA, one of the advisors. I had 4 students advance to state. I have 3 present tonight. First, we have Sierra Knott, and in basic office procedures at the regional level, she placed first place. Next, we have Karen Franco. In medical office procedures, she placed third in regional. And then we have Riley Seiler, and for intermediate word processing, he placed first at regional. So all 3 of these students advanced to state and did very well, and we're very proud of them.
They're shorter than I am, sorry. Good evening, I'm Tammy Barnes. I teach at Central High School. This is my first year teaching, and I teach business information management. I was very lucky to take these 4 ladies to regionals here in San Angelo. Caitlin Harris, she competed in fundamental spreadsheets and placed 4th. And then we have Isabella Teeter. She placed first in advanced word processing. And then we have Alyssa Pacina, who placed second in intermediate word processing. And then finally we have Camille Fott. She placed first at regionals in fundamental word processing. And then at state, she placed 4th. So she will be representing us at nationals.
Hello, I'm Randy Hensley. I teach at the West Texas Training Center. I also have a BPA chapter, and these are our students who were able to come tonight to represent us. Let me just start with Trinity Pittman on our computer animation team, along with Colin Allen on the computer animation team, and they placed first at region and then competed for us at state. Then we have Marty Estrada, competed for our video production team. He and his partner placed first at region and also competed at state for us. And finally, we have Angel Pena. Her competition was digital media production. She placed first at region and second at state, so we'll be representing our chapter and the state of Texas at nationals. So.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Salazar, and I am the FCCLA Advisor at Central High School, which stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. Here I have Valerie Rangel. She placed 6th at regional, qualifying for state. Karen Franco placed 2nd for entrepreneurship, qualifying her for state. And Gracelyn Economides, who placed 1st at regional and state, and will be competing at nationals in Atlanta, Georgia this summer.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Urbanik, and I'm the DECA advisor at Lakeview High School. And DECA is the Distributive Education Clubs of America. We advanced 11 students to the state competition this year, which was in Dallas. Most of our kids are here, but a few of them, again, had work. So you've seen Josh Rodriguez. He's also on the DECA team for us, and he placed 1st in Principles of Finance. Next is Cody Gwynn. And Cody placed 1st in Sports and Entertainment Marketing. The next 3 is Jacinda, Isa, and Leslie. And those 3 actually teamed up and did an advertising campaign for the local business Lotus Cafe. So they actually prepared a new advertising plan for that company, which they plan on implementing. So we're proud of them. They received 1st place as well. Next is Emily Hahn, and her partner is not here, Rosalani Martinez. They actually did the community service project with Shannon Medical Center, where they decorated the children's area for Christmas. So they called it Mission Christmas, and they got 2nd place at district. And then last 2 is Tony Rangel and Toby Carpenter. And these 2 have actually teamed up with the United Blood Services this year, and I'm going to give y'all some of their statistics because I'm super proud. They they did public relations, and they helped put on 3 of the blood drives in San Angelo, where they got over 400 pints of blood and saved 622 lives. So we're very excited for them. The last 3, Emily, she's going to serve as our District 9 Vice President, so she'll be going to internationals with us. And then Toby and Tony actually got 1st place at state this year. So we leave Friday for Atlanta, Georgia, and they're going to go to the international competition where they're going to compete against about 20,000 other kids and 7 other countries. So hopefully we'll bring back a win. Thank y'all.
Hello, I'm Renee Soha. I'm the marketing teacher at Central High School, and I am the DECA advisor. I had 12 that advanced on to state this year, but unfortunately several are out with work and Texan tryouts and all kinds of other things going on. But I do have 2 here representing us. Flynn here in the blue blazer. He was with our entrepreneurship team, decision making, and they placed first at district and moved on to state. I had a buying and merchandising team that placed first and second. I had 2 of those teams. I had a community service project that placed third, an apparel and accessory marketing individual series that placed first, a sports and entertainment promotion plan, which was a written event that placed first as well. And then Coleman White is actually one of our district officers from last year, but he also got reelected for this year, so he will be going with Emily to the national competition to serve as our district office team. So thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Brendan Rawlett. I teach the collision repair class out at the West Texas Training Center. And this is my student Amador Mata. And he competed and won our district contest held back in February. And we traveled to state, Corpus Christi, the first part of April. And he competed against the first place winners out of 12 districts across the state and brought home a second place finish for us. So did a great job.
I'm Ray Rangel. I teach construction technologies at West Texas Training Center. I had 10 students compete at district level. Timothy Klein competed in construction tools identification. Then we had Gabriel Cardona and Nathaniel Lee, Kelly Love, and Alan Saragosa was our representatives for District 2 4-man Teamworks. It's a build team of 4. Jacob Nunez, Vicente Ramos Jr. did materials identification. Eric Ortega and Cameron Lundgren could not be here, but they also competed at state for tools identification. And Victor Ruiz, single-man carpenter, all competing at state.
Microphone. I know. Yeah. No, you don't want that. Good evening. I first want to thank the school board for taking the time to recognize these wonderful and exceptional children and students that we have at Central and at Lakeview. I know you're busy and got stuff to do, so I'll make it as fast as I possibly can. My name is Jody Sabatka, and I teach family and consumer science at Central. I have a Skills USA chapter, and we had 4 different projects, photo panel projects that advanced from district to state. And then we also had several teams and individuals. I had an action skills student that he was in first place at district and ended up coming in 5th at state. He's not here tonight because we have other things going on. So here's our handful that could make it. We also had a team, a community action team of 2 that they came in first at district, and then they came in first at state, and they will represent us in Louisville, Kentucky at nationals in June, so we're pretty excited about that. And the Jacob Hanna and Kaylee Stevens, and they have a 3rd person that's with them is Ricky Robertson, who they had promotional bulletin board. They came in 2nd at district, and then they did real well at state. So y'all let them know who you are. Yeah, there you are. Okay. All right. And we also have with us Victor Gaines, who placed 5th at district, but turned it around, and he placed 1st at state at building maintenance. So he will go to nationals at June as well. Thank y'all.
Good evening. I am Travis Dudley. I'm the law enforcement instructor at West Texas Training Center, and I am a first-year teacher. This time last year, I was a sheriff's deputy. So this was my first time to do anything associated with Skills USA. But at the Skills USA State Conference in Leadership in Corpus Christi, I took two teams. I took Bailey McKenzie and Armando Ramirez. They did felony traffic stop. And then Faith Moore, Abby Borrego, and Dorian Madrid were the crime scene team. Thank you.
Appreciate you. I'm Heck Knutson, the theater director at Lakeview High School, and with me tonight I have Haley Valdebieso, one of my seniors, who was selected to the Honorable Mention All-Star Cast at the District 1 Act Play Contest this year.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Smith, and this is Timothy Haynes from Central High School. We are the theater teachers at Central, and this is our UIL One Act Play group. I want to introduce them individually, and then I will give the individual awards. We have, at the end, we have Vincent Ward, and then Michaela Eubanks, Josh Vetter, Garrett Underwood, Bryant Cobb, Josie Bart, Zoe Flores, Esther Whited, and Alyssa Simmons, Rebecca Saborio, Benjamin Arnold, Riley Seiler, and Alec Wagnon. Individual awards at district, Josh Vetter was awarded Honorable Mention All-Star Cast, and Ashlyn Evans, who couldn't be with us tonight, she's sick, she was awarded All-Star Cast. At by district, Josh Vetter was awarded Honorable Mention All-Star Cast. Ashlyn Evans was awarded Honorable Mention All-Star Cast. And Garrett Underwood was recognized as All-Star Cast. And Annalisa Simmons was recognized for All-Star Crew. At area competition, Josh Vetter was Honorable Mention All-Star Cast. Michaela Eubanks was Honorable Mention All-Star Cast. Ashlyn Evans was All-Star Cast, and Riley Seiler was All-Star Crew. The group won at district and then won at by district, and we qualified for area competitions. In addition, we compete in state thespian conference, and 3 of our students advanced out of state into nationals. That is Michaela Eubanks and Josh Vetter, advanced in individual events monologue competition, and they'll also be competing in scholarship auditions. And then Bryant Cobb will be competing in individual events, solo musical, and college auditions. So, congratulations. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julie Schneers, and this is Tim Haynes, also, again, jack of all trades. And he is also helps me at Central with speech and debate. And we have here our TFA state qualifiers, and it's a long list. We're very proud of that long list, but we want to go ahead and tell you what they qualified in and how they did. Addison Bass, she semied in HI. Michaela Eubanks and Addison Bass as a team won second in duet out of the entire state of Texas. Michaela Eubanks won fourth overall in HI. Michaela Eubanks and Josh Vetter were duo qualifiers. Josh Vetter was a DI and HI qualifier also. Josh Vetter and Gracie Wilson semied in duet. Gracie Wilson qualified in, of course, duet, DI, HI, info, and quarterfinaled in POI. Gracie Wilson and Alfredo Antu went in duo. Alfredo Antu also was in OO and got fourth overall in program oral interp. Alfredo and Dakota got fourth overall in duet. Dakota Myers qualified in DI and POI. Wave when you, yeah. Everett Bailey qualified in DI. Everett Bailey and Micah Golden qualified in duet. Reagan Bredemeyer qualified in POI. Reagan and Emily qualified in duo. Emily Kirkendall qualified in DI. Maddie Davenport in original oratory. Payson Epley in domestic extemp. Alex Fernandez quarterfinaled in program oral interp, and he also qualified with his partner Alec Ritchie in duo. Bailey King qualified in informative. Bailey King and the team of Alessandra Gutierrez qualified in CX debate. Samuel Knox qualified in Congress. Callie Clark and Blue McCoy quarterfinaled in duo. Blue McCoy and James Bass in duet. Lane Lupke in DI made it to quarters. James Mayville broke to semis in Congress. The team of James Mayville and George Wallace qualified in public forum debate. George Wallace in Congress. Andrea Metter-Safont broke to semis in OO, and with her partner Garrett Underwood, quarters in duo. Julia White made it to semis in pros and qualified also in DI. Nick Neighbors made it to quarters in HI. The team of Nick Neighbors and Kylie Gray made it to quarters in duet. Grace Shelton in Congress. Dorkesh Patel broke in LD to triple octos and qualified also in domestic extemp. Sienna Soto got sixth overall in informative. Sadie Waldrop made it to semis in poetry. Jonah White made it to quarters in impromptu speaking. And the team of Jonah White and Daniel Daughtry made it in CX debate. And Anissa Tatum made it in informative. I know that is so much information, but I want you to know that this is the biggest state meet in the entire nation. So when we're able to say that they broke to semis, that's the top 18 in the entire state, and you're talking thousands of entries. So when we say that they got second or fourth, that is huge, and we're very proud of them. We placed as a team in 1 through 6A, private and public, all charter schools are grouped together in this type of state event, and we placed 5th overall out of 225 schools. So we're very, very proud of them. Yes, and qualifying for nationals, we'll do that while they're here. We'll just let them raise a hand. The team of Michaela Eubanks and Nicholas Neighbors in humorous interpretation will be going to nationals. It isn't a team event. They did that on their own. Andrea Metter-Safont in original oratory. Reagan Bredemeyer and Emily Kirkendall, who couldn't be here, in duo interpretation. The team of Jonah White and Daniel Daughtry in cross-examination debate. The team of James Mayville and George Wallace in public forum debate. Grace Shelton in student congress. Dorkesh Patel in domestic extemporaneous speaking. Gracie Wilson and Alfredo Antu in program oral interp. And nationals is this summer in Florida, so we'll get to spend a week together with them. Thank you so much. And I'll do our UIL crew really fast. It's a whole different thing. So we just had them step right back out. This year we won district and we got second at regionals and as a team. And in district, Alec Ritchie took first in pros. Alfredo Antu, who had to work tonight, took second. And Nick Neighbors took fourth, but was called up as an alternate and got to go to region. So all of our pros kids got to go to region. And in poetry, Dakota Myers took first. And Andrea Metter-Safont took second, and Gracie Wilson took third and got to go to region. And then in persuasive speaking, James Mayville took first, Dorkesh Patel took second, and Grace Shelton took fourth. In informative speaking, Bailey King won first, Jonah White won fourth, and Alexis Molina, who couldn't be here, won fifth. And in Lincoln Douglas debate, Dorkesh Patel won third, and Payson Epley won fourth. And so both of those boys got to go to region. And then from region, Andrea Metter-Safont won poetry and will go to UIL State. Alfredo Antu got second in prose and will go to UIL State. And Dorkesh Patel got second in persuasive and will also go with us. But also in finals, Bailey King got seventh and Alec Ritchie got fifth. So we're super proud of them. But prior to this, UIL Congress State was in January, and James Mayville placed fourth out of the whole state of Texas in 6A. And then in CX debate, we had a team make it to state, and that was Jonah White and Daniel Daughtry, and they were quarterfinalists. So we're walking into the state meet with state points as a team already, and we're super proud of that. And I hope all of you know how instrumental you are in our success, because you generate that with your support, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're having a showcase on Thursday at the Pack Theater if anyone wants to come to highlight these kiddos. Thank you so much.
We're so proud of you guys. Thanks for your hard work. We appreciate it.
Hi, my name's Kevin McSpadden. I'm the UIL Academic Coordinator at Central High School. And just so you know, the UIL program at Central actually does encompass a great deal of the speech and debate program. They compete with alongside our academic teams for district, regional, state. And they're exactly right that because of what they've done, that our UIL team shows up to the state meet before the academic contest ever starts with points on the board. So that's really good. So tonight, I'm going to be allowing most of our coaches to introduce their own teams and tell you about what they do. I just wanted to let you all know a couple of things about our program as a whole and what we accomplished this year. And it pleases me to be able to tell you that this year, we set the goal of winning our 9th consecutive district title, and we did achieve that goal. Those points encompass one-act play, speech and debate, and then all of the academic teams that you're about to meet right now. And so it really is a team effort, and I find that to be very unique, but it's also very rewarding about this program. I also would like to be able to tell you that in district, Central High School won by over 264 points over the next closest school. And so that's quite an accomplishment to not only win, but also do it in such a fashion. And that just speaks very highly of the young men and women that you're about to meet, along with their coaches. They put in a lot of hard work. And in case you didn't know, many times we do get up before 4 a.m. Sometimes we consider 4 a.m. a luxury. And if we're home before 10 o'clock at night, then that's actually really reasonable by our standards. And so they really do put in the time and effort, and I couldn't be more proud of all of them. So I'm going to start by talking about one team that is not here tonight because of previous commitments, and that is our journalism team, coached by Dara Oji. And it consisted this year of Cherokee Young, who placed second in district in headline writing, and Luke Sawyer, who was fourth in editorial writing, but was able to compete at regionals due to an alternate situation that arose. Both of those have been on our team for several years, and Cherokee especially has made it to regionals since she was a sophomore, which would have been 3 consecutive years. And now I'm going to invite up our computer science team on behalf of Nancy Thompson, who is their coach, who also had a previous commitment tonight. Our computer science team was the district champion for the 2nd year in a row at least, and it may go back further than that. And so this is Braden Fleeman, who placed 7th at district, Rocky Ibarra, who was 5th, Vincent Ward, who placed 4th, and Skylar Sonnevelt Bixler was our district champion this year, and he was unable to be here tonight. So this is your computer science district championship team.
Hello again, Judith Kitchens again. I'm also the computer applications coach for UIL Academics, and I'd like to showcase Grace Moling. And for the 2nd year in a row, she has made it to regionals. This year, she placed 3rd in district and did an outstanding job at regional. It's a very tough event, so I'm very, very proud of her.
Hi, I'm Betsy King. I coach the math teams. And first, I want to talk about the calculator team. We have 4 on the calculator team. We have Vincent Ward, Kelsey Gatlin, and not present are Cade Campbell and Francisco Fuentes. And this team placed 1st in district. And the calculator test is 70 problems, and they are big numbers or number crunch problems. They are word problems and also geometry and trig problems. So quite challenging. Now, Francisco Fuentes, that is not present today, also advanced on the mathematics event because he placed 3rd in district. Yeah, and that math test consists of problems up through calculus also. So we're very proud of them. Thank you.
My name's Carly Stevens, and I am the UIL science coach, and I am proud to say that this was our 7th consecutive year getting 1st place team at district, and it was a challenging year. We started off the year not doing so hot. We are a very young team. In fact, on our winning district team, we have 2 sophomores. These sophomores have never taken an AP science. They're in pre-AP chemistry right now, and they are beating out people taking college biology, college chemistry, and college physics. And so before us today, we've got Jonathan DeAnda, and we have Thomas Davis, and not present, we have Francisco Fuentes, and we also have Cade Campbell. And so 2 sophomores and 2 juniors, which means they're coming back next year. We went to region, and Francisco was
4 questions away from breaking to state as a junior. And as a team, we placed 5th, only a few points back from the 4th place team out of 9 teams in the region, and I couldn't be prouder of these guys. But I will tell you that the ones that made it to region made it because of everybody else that pushed them along the way. It wasn't until the week before district that we were actually able to place our top 6 because we had so many juniors and sophomores vying for those spots. So we are looking forward to next year for sure. So.
That way, that's where I. Okay, I'm Rhonda Hatfield, and I'm the coach of the social studies team and the current events team, so I've got both teams up there right now. And first I'm going to do social studies. Social studies has won district for 9 consecutive years now, plus we have a few more back in the back that I was going to count all of them, and I forgot to count them before I came up here. But I know for sure 9 consecutive years that we've won district in social studies. And we have Aiden Henry, and Aiden was our district champ, and at regional, it broke my heart. The cutoff score was 62, and he scored a 60. And so he didn't get his essay read, but on top of all of that, the cool thing about this is that even not having his essay read, he was 42nd in the entire state. And that's not having his essay read. That is truly, truly amazing. And then not with us, I'm kind of going in my order here, is Wyatt Waters. Wyatt has been on my social studies team for 3 years. He's one of my seniors. Aiden's a senior too, but Wyatt Waters has been on my team for 3 years, and it's going to break my heart when my 2 seniors leave this year. But Wyatt I've lost it. Wyatt was 6th at district. And then I have Kevin Frankie. And Kevin was tied 6th and 7th, and Wyatt Waters beat him out on the essay. But he was, I guess, 6th, 7th for district. And then we have Wyatt Hayes, and Wyatt was 5th at district in social studies. And in social studies, every year they get a book, and they have to read a book, and they have a topic that they have to deal with. This year the topic was Russia, and there were a bunch of Russian names. And how they kept all those Russian names straight, I will never know, because I couldn't pronounce them, much less memorize them like these guys did. They did an outstanding job. This is the team from my heart. I don't want to cry, but okay. And then my current events team is Kevin Frankie, and Kevin was at district 2nd. And then Wyatt Hayes again, he was 4th at district, but Wyatt really stepped it up at regional. And at regional, he got he had his essay read, he did not place, but in the entire state he was 30th. For not having your essay, or he had it read, but for not placing, 30th is really awesome. And then we have Elizabeth Garibay, and we have Maddie Rutherford. And this whole team is coming back, and I'm very excited for them because at regional, the champions had 95 points. We scored 91 points. We were that close. I mean, it was so, so tight and just truly, truly amazing. And the current events team, they have to keep up with all the current events. They have to stay, they follow the Twitter feeds for the Guardian, the Texas Tribune, CNN, the New York Times. You name it, they have it, and they're just following it constantly. That's all they do is follow the news. And great group of guys, girls, and I love them, and I'm looking forward to next year already.
Hello again. I'm Sandy Conley, and on this particular hello, I am the accounting coach for the UIL team, and the UIL team consisted of Odalis Acevedo, Olivia Dabbert, Thomas Hoffman, and Caitlin Lopez, and they had an outstanding year, placing in all of the invitationals and also in our virtual challenges. The team remains as the defending champion from last year, and Olivia Dabbert is our defending champion from last year in accounting, and she also placed first again this year. And then we have Odalis, who placed second at district, and Caitlin, who placed sixth at district, and we ended up assisting the team with 41 points overall. The team came in first place, so that advanced the entire team to the regional level. At regional level, Olivia Dabbert placed fifth, and Mr. McSpadden let us know just a while ago that Olivia came in 16th in the state of Texas. So little bittersweet news there. Lucky for you guys that she's not going into accounting, so she won't be auditing any of us soon. She will be going to San Diego and majoring in biology. Odalis will be majoring in not banking finance, but accounting, and Miss Caitlin will be going on for probably medical, and maybe she'll switch over to the financial analysis. This is a great team. They're all seniors, so I will be starting all new. We adopted a sophomore. Hopefully that he will bring the group back up. Thank you, girls. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Angie Pigeon. I coach literary criticism, and this is our third consecutive year to win district in literary criticism. And the winners are, in third place, Michaela Jones. She could not be here tonight. Second place was Matthew Cook, and first place, your district champion, a junior, is Kelsey Gatlin. And then this year, we went to several meets and were very successful in those meets. Kelsey went on to region, so did Matt. The whole team qualified for region. Kelsey was 10th at region. Going to state, she was only 7 points away from going to state. So we have high hopes for her next year. So thank you. They had to read Wuthering Heights, so they deserve those. And then I also coach Ready Writing, and our district champion in Ready Writing is Miss Zoe Flores. We also had the third place. Only 3 students qualify for region in Ready Writing in our district, and Central got 2 of those spots. And that's the first time I remember that happening in a really long time, so super proud of those writers and Zoe.
You want to come shake our hands, Mr. Waters?
Mr. Lehman, that concludes the student recognition portion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. And thanks, Bill, for your hard work. And
Thank you guys for doing that. I feel like
yeah.
and the sponsors for sure. Knowing one of the places they get recognized, so we appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
We'll move on to item 5 on our agenda for public comment. Anyone wishing to make comments to our board team on an item not on our agenda this evening should come forward at this time. I see no one wishing to do so, so we'll move for approval of our minutes. Do we have a motion to approve our minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Hernandez and a second from Mr. Dindal to approve the minutes of our March 19, 2018 Finance and Pre-Agenda meeting and our March 26, 2018 regular board meeting. Are there comments or questions about our minutes? Any public comment? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is reports. We have the report for student enrollment. We get that in our Friday facts. We've been hovering right around 100 throughout the year, and we're pretty much there again. So we appreciate the confidence the community has in San Angelo Independent School District, and we're up 100 students above last year, so that's all good news. I don't think we have a report from Goodfellow this evening, our partnership with them, but we're going to have one next month, we believe, and then we have an update on academic progress, and Dr. Ritter's going to help us with that.
Thank you so much. We have on the agenda that we were going to be talking about our John Lennon educational bus tour highlights, but we just got those pictures from the group. I will say they loved San Angelo ISD so much that they are already planning on and looking for a way they can come back and stay a longer time in our district, and he said that in his email. We're so excited. So we are working on that presentation for probably next month is what we'll do when we'll do that highlight. So tonight, I just wanted to take some time to highlight some things that we're doing with course alignment in our secondary areas. Middle school course alignment, this is the first year that we are providing a course guide for all of our courses in middle school. So with the comprehensive curriculum writing process that we have just gone through, finishing up with all of the content, this year we will now have pre-K through 12th grade content written for all of our content areas, our core content areas, which is a huge feat. And with that, and using our teacher input, Shelley Huddleston really worked with our counselors to put together a middle school course guide similar to what we use for high school, where it gives you the description, and that may not sound like a big deal, but it really is a big deal when we're talking alignment across the board. Regardless of where you go in our district, Lee, Lincoln, or Glenn middle schools, you will be offered the same aligned course with curriculum written for all those content areas. So we're excited about that, and it helps us with the course selection process, which we also aligned this year. And we also, next year, looking at our data and our needs assessment in our district, we recognize that there is a great need for a literacy focus in our district, and we've been really focusing in elementary with guided reading instruction and balanced literacy. We're moving that up to middle school next year with a great focus on literacy instruction in our middle schools. And so in 6th grade, we are going to offer a course called Comprehension Clubs that every 6th grader is going to have the opportunity to take, and it's customized and individualized based on their reading level. What they come in the door, we do the assessment in 5th grade, or if they're new to the district, we do it in 6th grade when they come in, and they get to do it based on interest, and they join these book clubs. And it's a deep dive into literacy and helping them with strategies for reading comprehension, and even building the fluency for them. So we're really pleased that we're going to be able to offer this for our students and have, again, this will be aligned across the district with every 6th grader in our district. So we're proud to offer that, and we're starting our professional development for that for the teachers who will be teaching that in our middle schools this spring. Looking forward to next year. And also, we were wanting to highlight in high school this is a great celebration for our 2018-2019 school year. We're adding some additional CTE courses, and what a great night. We just wanted to highlight that with all of the students that you saw come through tonight. And what a great celebration to see them being successful and in our CTE courses. And many of our courses, they can earn certification hours. So we are adding a clinical medical assistant and also a course for firefighters. When our students go through this, they'll have 32 college hours. After graduating, they will do 140 hours of internship and will be fully certified to have jobs in these areas. And San Angelo is hiring 25 per month in these areas as we speak. So it is a need in our community, and this is a way that we can partner with our community, and we're just really thrilled to be able to partner with our community in this way and provide this for our students for a great experience. So any questions about any of that?
Like you said, you're gonna add firefighting?
We are going to.
So they'll get, how many hours did you say they?
In the firefighting, I don't know exactly.
Okay.
It'll be a 2-year course.
Okay.
And so we're just going to start opening up for the first year, so we don't know what that will look like. But in the clinical medical assistants, when they graduate, they will have 32 hours of college hours, and then do 140 of internship at one of the hospitals. And after that, the clinical medical assistants will have a certification. And I hear, Dr. Kingman, you may correct me on this, it actually is replacing LVMs. Is that correct? I've heard that. No?
Maybe not. Not replacing. Oh no, we need them.
And the hiring 25 per month, we understand that.
I do know there's a huge need for medical.
Huge need for medical assistance, yes. Yeah.
Can't talk. Dr. Ritter, is that 6th grade class, is it required or is it just offered to them?
We are going to schedule every 6th grader into this class.
Okay, good.
Yes, we
It sounds like the freshman class that ASU offers, so I'm very excited about
very
that. It's a
similar,
great,
yeah.
that sounds like a great introduction to middle school.
Thank you. We've done a lot of research into it and visited districts that provide this, and we feel like it's going to be a really great thing for our kiddos.
It'll be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions? Thanks, Amy. Good question. Thanks, Dr. Ritter.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, the next report's actually my report, but Becky does all the work on it, so thank you for putting all this together. This is a report of our board training hours that's required. The board president shall state board members where they've met or exceeded or are deficient in the total number of required hours for continuing education this year. So I'll read these off in no particular order, it looks like. So Mr. Dindal has a total of 11 hours. Mr. Gallegos has 15 and a quarter hours. Mr. Hernandez has 12 and a half hours. Dr. Kingman has 29 and a quarter hours. Mr. Lehman has 13 hours. Ms. Mizell Flint has 28 hours. Mr. Parker has 12 hours, and that covers our board team. So the required, just so everyone will know, for new members are required to take 16 hours. So Dr. Kingman's well above that requirement. And anyone that's an experienced member, which covers the rest of us, is required to have 8 hours, and all of us have covered that. So that takes care of that report. We'll move forward to our consent items. Our agenda, board agenda item 8. Do we have a motion to approve our consent items?
Move to approve consent items.
We have a motion from Mr. Parker and a second from Mr. Gallegos to approve our consent items. Those are items A through E. Item A is consider donations. Those are on the board. We appreciate Angelo Boat, Best Tech Supply, Cross Texas Supply, Hamilton Oilfield Services, Keith Properties, Randall Motors, and West Texas Steel for their contributions and donations made to our district. Item B is to consider superintendent's recommendations for 2018-2019. These are teacher and other professional contracts as required by Texas Government Code 551074. The other is to consider bid number 18-010, which is the purchase of a food service truck. Item D is to consider the allotment and TEACS certification. Number E is to consider TASB Board Policy Update 110, and these are updates to policies DH Local and FEA Local from Update 109. So these are, again, our items that we discussed at our pre-agenda board workshop and were moved to the consent agenda. Would anybody wish to remove one of those or have any questions about those or comments? Do we have any public comment? If not, all in favor of our consent items, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is to consider bills, accounts, and financial statements for the month of March 2018.
Move for approval of those financial statements for the month of March 2018.
We have a motion from Mr. Dindal and a second from Mr. Parker to approve our bills, accounts, and financial statements for March of 2018. Do we have any board comment or questions?
Mr. Lehman, just to note to the public that all of these financial reports that we review every month are online on our website, saisd.org. There's a tab entitled Financial Transparency. Everything down to the last check that we write is on that page.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. And we also spend a considerable amount of time reviewing those in our pre-agenda board workshop. Any public comment? If not, all in favor of our motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is to consider an amendment to the district's official budget in our general fund.
Move for approval.
We have a motion from Mr. Dindal and a second from Mr. Parker. They're doing a really good job of tag teaming this evening. Do we have any comments or questions from our board team concerning our proposed amendment to the district's official budget? These are actually moving all of our bond.
Pay for the
Right. Thank you. So we, not bond, we have a number of projects that are part of our fund balance that we determine in advance of the year what we're going to spend money on, and we're we finished that project, but now we're allocating funds out of our fund balance to that. Any other questions or comments concerning that? Any public comment? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is to consider San Angelo ISD's early Head Start and Head Start self-assessment goals and objectives, and Ms. Taunton's here to help us with that. Thanks, Rachel, for being here and for your patience.
Good evening, Mr. Lehman, Dr. Detloff, and members of the board. Yes, I'm here to present the self-assessment that was conducted this year. We do this annually. The self-assessment looks at the program's entire operation, and the results are used for continuous improvement and planning. We start in January, which is approximately 3/4 of the way through the program term. This helps us collect information of the assessment and the development of the program improvement plan, which is submitted before you. The program report and the action plan, as you can see, it identifies program strengths that were identified. We had 18 areas. These are booklets that are part of the self-assessment that are completed with parents, community members, policy committee members, and staff members as well. We have scheduled dates. We have a timeline that we have to present, and we have scheduled dates that we like to target each area. And then for the opportunity for parents to come and also interview us on our program operations, we schedule a date at each of our 3 Head Start centers, and all of my staff is there. And we have documents that, are items that they can ask from the self-assessment. And like I said, it looks at 18 areas. And there are several strengths identified. We also have 2 areas of improvement that we have targeted for our program. And the first one is class, which is our classroom management scoring system, which is what we use to score our teachers, the environment, and the student-teacher interactions and our social and emotional development. It is part of our curriculum as well. And this is an area that we are always looking at improving, looking at monitoring developmentally appropriate practices, and making sure that we are providing the best education that we can for our little ones. This area was also part of our class audit that we had last year, and there were 3 domains that we were monitored in, and we scored low in a couple of domains. This is a combination of not just SAISD, our teacher scores, but they're also combined with COG teacher scores. We don't know the difference who scored what. It's just a combination of both. And so this is an area that we always look to target at. The other one is we're continuing to increase our enrollment of children with disabilities. We have to meet 10% of the required enrollment of all the children in our program with the children with disabilities. And we, as I've explained before, this is one that has come up in the last couple of years. The need is out there, but a lot of the children that do qualify are over income, and we are income-based, low income-based, and so they don't always get into our program.
Questions or comments from Ms. Taunton's report? I find it interesting that we don't, I mean, it's a combined score, so we, really we don't know.
Right. We don't know how our teachers fared compared to the teachers from COG, and so it's always an area that we always look to improve on anyway. So.
Yeah, that's that. Miss Flint had the question I did. How do you improve if you don't know whether they're your teachers or someone else's teachers?
Yes,
but
right.
That's the nature of our program. So.
Right.
And we've been working closely with COG on that to make sure that those scores, those places are identified. So it's an action item that both SAISD and the COG is working on diligently to make sure that those problems are solved. And I know that Ms. Taunton and Mr. Munn both are involved deeply in that, and I appreciate their help and their assistance in that program, because it's a huge program. There are like 600, is it 600 kids involved now from the SAISD?
We have 583.
There you go, 583. I missed it. Sorry about that. Anyway, almost 600 kids, but it's a school district in itself, and we appreciate that because they're taking care of all those young minds.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Rachel. So we need a motion to approve our 2018 self-assessment goals and objectives.
Make a motion to approve the 2018 self-assessment goals and objectives.
I'm not the only one that can't talk tonight. We have a motion from Mr. Gallegos. Do we have a second? We have a second from Dr. Kingman. Any other questions or comments from our board team?
Because I haven't spoken a lot this evening.
Any public comment? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Thanks, Ms. Taunton. Our next item is our summer meal program, and Ms. Carter is going to review that with us. Thanks, Ms. Carter.
Thank you all very much for allowing me to come before you, members of the board, and Dr. Detloff, to present to you tonight a request for the approval for the San Angelo ISD to be the sponsor for the summer feeding program or summer meal program. The summer meal program provides meals at no cost to any child between the ages of 1 and 18, and children do not have to or families do not have to show that they qualify based on economically disadvantaged to be able to participate in the program. So I'm happy to report this will be over 20, if you approve tonight, for us to be a sponsor. San Angelo ISD has sponsored this program for over 25 years now for children during the summer, because the purpose behind all of that is we know children need the nourishment that they need to excel, and learning just doesn't take a vacation even during the summertime. So our role is to, how do we continue to provide part of that nourishment? All of the recommended sites that we've given to you tonight are in areas of the city where at least 50% of the students currently qualify for free or reduced price meals during the regular school year. The sites will provide meals to students attending the summer education programs And we've also partnered with several community organizations such as the YMCA and the Northside Boys and Girls Club and the City Recreation Department to provide meal services for children that are participating in their programs. The exact dates and times of the meal services, we'll have all of those posted on our district website if they're so approved. And parents can also call 211. Once we have approval, then they can call to find out the locations and the times that we'll be serving. We anticipate throughout the plan that we've presented to you in your packets tonight that we'll feed approximately 30,000 meals to children during the month of June, as well as we'll need a budget approval that will be about $90,100. And all of that funding, just so you know, all of that funding that we are looking for that comes from the state of Texas or whatever. It's a federally funded program, so we're not using general fund dollars to help support this particular program. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Carter?
And this has probably been every year, so it just goes to the end of June, and then
The SASD's been sponsoring meal programs through the end of June, and then we have the Kids Eat program that is a community-based program that picks up with our churches and picks up through July and then till school starts back up.
okay, thank you.
Would they use our facilities in July, the same locations, or is it locations change?
The locations change with that particular program. They do those more in at church locations.
So the students, our parents just call 211 and they figure out the schedule, serving schedule and all that at each campus.
Yes, and we'll be doing some additional advertising as well too, distributing flyers home with the children, having advertising through TV, as well as we'll have it posted on our district's website. So there'll be many resources available for everyone to be able to find out dates and times and locations.
It'd be interesting to know how many meals we've served in 25 years of, so. Any other board comments or questions? Any public comment? Do we have a motion to approve the selected summer meal program sites and proposed operational budget?
Move to approve the selected summer meal program sites and proposed operational budget.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Do we have a second?
We'll second it.
We have a second from Dr. Kingman. Any other board comment or questions? Any public comment? If not all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Thanks, Ms. Carter.
Thank you.
Our next item is bid number 18-007. This is for windows at Austin Elementary campus.
I'd like to thank Dr. Detloff and the members of the board for having us here tonight. Tonight I bring to you bid 18-007, Austin Windows. During the planning stage of the Austin Window project, it was decided to phase this work over 2 summers. Phase 1 rebuilt the admin offices and replaced most of the windows along Van Buren and Willow. In Phase 2, we will replace the remaining windows facing Willow and North Harrison streets. This phase will not affect any of the proposed bond items that we are working on. We received 2 competitive bids on this project. Both responses were scored by committee using our scoring criteria. Future Vest of San Angelo was the bidder with the highest score and a proposed cost of $169,000, which includes a $50,000 contingency. Additional costs will include about $16,000 in architecture fees and $8,000 in asbestos abatement. The administration recommends contracting with Future Vest of San Angelo to replace the windows at Austin Elementary School.
Thanks, Jason. Do we have any comments or questions about bid number 18-007?
You said it wasn't gonna affect, I mean, I guess if this thing passes with the bond, we're not gonna go in there and rip all these windows out that we just put in, is what I'm saying.
No, we're not.
So, cool, okay. So it doesn't affect the scope of the job.
In the event that the bond.
Yeah, in the event that the bond
Yeah,
passes.
in the event that the bond passes, this work is going to be done as a general fund project anyway.
Yeah,
And will be
yeah.
in
Correct.
addition to the work that, in the event
Yeah,
that the bond
but
passes.
what I was asking is are we gonna put these windows in and then, in the event it does pass, go in there and rip them out and put new ones in?
No, all of the projects at Austin are going to be renovations within the school. We're
Within
not-
that area,
We haven't
okay.
proposed tearing anything down.
Okay.
And this is just a continuation of our window project at Austin.
Correct, from last summer.
Right. So we're finishing installing windows at Austin Elementary. Further comments or questions? Do we have a motion to approve? Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the contracting with Futurevest of San Angelo to replace the windows at Austin Elementary School.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Gallegos and a second from Mr. Dindal to approve contracting with Futurevest of San Angelo to replace windows at Austin Elementary School. And that is $169,000, which includes a $50,000 contingency, and also additional costs will include approximately $16,000 in architect fees and an estimate of $8,000 in asbestos abatement. So that covers the project. And that's all money that comes from our regular budget. So, further questions or comments from our board team? Any public comment? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is item 14, consider bid number 18-008. This is for HVAC equipment at Bowie Elementary School. Mr. Henry.
Capital projects for this budget year included the replacement of the HVA system at Bowie Elementary. This bid will provide for all the materials and labor to demo and replace the existing HVA system in Building E. It is believed that the current units are about 25 years old. Building E is one of the buildings that will not be touched if the bond passes, so it will remain. We received 2 bids on this project. The bids include a $75,000 contingency in the event unanticipated conditions are encountered during the project construction. A scoring committee was assembled and scored according to the bid criteria. The administration recommends a turnkey contract for the replacement of the HVAC units at Bowie Elementary and the approval of alternate number 1 be awarded to Midtex of Midland for the total of $561,000. That includes a $75,000 contingency. Alternate 1 is the replacement of the lights in Building E. We're going to have to rip out all of the ceiling and the lights. So what we're going to do, since we're already going to have to pay for the labor to remove all the lights, we're going to go ahead and come back with LED lights that'll be more energy efficient. And with the building codes changing, we believe this is going to save us money in the long run to go ahead and do it now.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Questions or comments for Jason concerning bid number 18-008?
Mr. Lehman, this is another project that we've identified in our capital projects to take care of out of general fund. And again, those units are about 25 years old. And in the event that the bond does pass, these units will remain in these facilities because these aren't scheduled to be remodeled in that case.
Okay, thanks for that update, Mr. Dindal. Other comments or questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
And with that, I'll move to recommend the turnkey contract for the replacement of the HVAC units at Bowie Elementary and the approval of the alternate 1, which is the lights, to Midtex Mechanical for the total of $561,000. That includes a $75,000 contingency.
Thanks, Mr. Dindal. We have a motion from Mr. Dindal and a second from Mr. Parker. Are there any other board comments or questions? Any public comment? If not, all in favor of our motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Our motion passes. Our next item is bid number 18-011 for portable radios within our district. Mr. Henry.
Currently, San Angelo ISD has contracted with Crux Solutions to provide a safety and security assessment of the district. The assessment identified areas that the district could improve in order to provide a more safe environment. One of the areas identified was the district radio system currently being used. Currently, San Angelo ISD is using an analog radio system that does not offer the clarity, distance, or reliability needed in a safety situation. This turnkey project is for all necessary materials and labor to install repeaters where needed and to replace all district radios with new digital handheld radios. At this time, I'm going to bring up two helpers. Ms. Gomez is going to talk about the campus side.
Probably have to lower this a little bit. So from the campus perspective, we know that safety and security are our top priorities. There are numerous benefits for campus principals and staff with the new radios. First, they allow for immediate communication. With many of our old radios, they weren't reliable. As both a former elementary and secondary principal in SAISD, I personally experienced that, which often led us to have to use our personal cell phones, and not all staff are comfortable with using their personal cell phones for communication. So the newer radios would allow for more immediate communication and would also provide additional radios so more personnel could be in the communication loop. The minute that students and staff walk on campus, you need to get messages out quickly. These radios would assist with drop-off, pickup, playground incidents. We have an increasing number of medical conditions for students, and sometimes you need immediate communication with the nurse and other personnel. The radios would assist in those areas. And passing periods in your secondary campuses, many of our campuses are spread out. We have multiple buildings, so it allows us to get communication out in a very timely manner. I know as a former elementary principal in the district, we had approximately 3 radios on campus. One of those was consistently reliable. The other 2 were hit or miss. As a former secondary principal in the district, I had approximately 7 radios. And of those 7, 3 were consistently reliable. So I believe with the projection of the radio project, it would allow Central High School to have as many as 50 radios, Lakeview High School as many as 35, CFC and some of our middle schools as many as 25, much improved over my 7. And then our elementary campuses, approximately 12 radios.
So, Mr. Henry and Ms. Gomez, these, either one is good. So I just want to be clear. So our Board of Trustees last spring ordered a security audit for our school district. So these radios are a component of that security audit, and these monies are coming out of our current operating general fund.
Correct. On both of those, yes.
And then, Ms. Gomez, I heard a principal input a week ago that the range for these new radios is pretty significant. Can you talk about that?
Yes, the range is significant, which is very important, especially for our campuses that have multiple buildings. But in addition to the range, it allows the campus to have additional channels of communication, which also improves the communication feedback loop.
I'm going to bring up A.J. Turner to discuss some of the technical aspects of this radio project.
Good evening. I'm not so sure about the technical aspects. I'm going to duplicate a little bit of what Ms. Gomez said. I'm going to address my portion of this from a safety and security aspect of it. The enhancement of the digital radios at each site is going to offer campus personnel the ability to stay communicated with appropriate staff through an immediate connection. One of the ways to increase safety and security on our campus is by creating barriers. While this is not a physical barrier, it is a communication barrier allowing for better radio communication through notification from anywhere on the campus. For several years now, the campuses have relied on their cell phones to communicate with key members of the staff. With the new digital radios, you not only have clear, concise connection, but they will not have to worry about signal strength, buffering, drop calls, missed dials, or even the time needed to type out a text, even though some of these folks are pretty quick with their thumbs when they're going through this. To To make this even more appealing, if we happen to lose power through severe weather, our landline phones would go out. If the storm is severe enough, then we would lose our cell phone coverage. But the new digital radios would remain in operation because of an installed battery backup system. I've been told that in most cases it will last us up to about 2 hours. Let's focus on the cell phone service for just a moment. If we do happen to have an emergency event of any magnitude, the community would overload the cell service in town, causing it to become unreliable to our staff. These radios can put principals and administrators as well at ease with the knowledge that they can communicate with their staff on playgrounds, courtyards, in alternate or remote buildings, or even with staff not on campus. Because of previous implementations we've gone through, the site is already set up with unique FCC-assigned established frequencies that will be programmed into each of these new radios and repeaters. Within the parameters of these established frequencies is the ability to create and define unique talk groups. Whether they want to talk with the office staff, counselors, custodians, or the administrative team as a whole, they can have that selective opportunity. We all know that our best source of monitoring the activity around our campus is with staff out watching and physically monitoring assigned areas. This radio communication enhancement will increase notifications and warnings by placing more reliable radios with more staff and expediting responses to recognize situations. Within the scope of the bid, we'll be receiving a total of 420 district radios at all of our sites in total, and they will be communicating through individual site repeaters. The installation of these new systems will allow future enhancements that could include the maintenance radio system and the district emergency channel. When I started my portion of the discussion, I referred to it being from a safety and security aspect. While I never hope it happens to us, we always need to be prepared, and we do this by planning, reviewing, training, and developing protocol, and placing equipment and materials in our staff's hands that they can utilize and benefit from in emergency situations. These radios will offer our sites the ability, should all other means fail, and I know sometimes it's hard to truly appreciate the full safety and security benefit these radios will afford our folks, but I hope that what I've given you will give you some insight to what they're going to be receiving.
Thanks, Mr. Turner and Ms. Gomez. Any questions for any?
I was gonna ask you, can y'all, with those radios, would y'all be able to communicate also with the local law enforcement, or just back and forth with that? Is that possible, or?
No.
Problem what you have is called interoperability, and we can't necessarily communicate with the police department.
But
the
they
police
can with
department can receive us.
Okay.
I can tell you this, that because we partner with the city and the county on several different situations, like our pod distributions, our shelter-in-place locations, there are trailers that they can roll in, and they have the patch that can be put in there to where all the different radios can communicate at one time.
Okay, good.
Mr. Turner, or fairly the one, but it seems like in kind of going along with what Dr. Detloff was saying, and I can't remember the example, but it seemed like someone said that the range, we could be at the stadium and communicate with Central High School, or maybe Central High School could communicate even with Lakeview. I mean, it's extensive range. It's not limited just to a campus.
Well, AJ has the technical aspect on that. I can tell you that we have had a Lakeview High School administrator who had his radio with him here at the administration building and was still able to fully communicate with staff on his campus.
At Lakeview.
Yes.
Thank you.
One example we had was we just got finished installing the Holloman and the Austin repeaters and radios, and they had just finished Holloman at 11:30. I rolled through Rose's at 11:45 to pick up lunch, and I was talking to the campus at Rose's right behind the building.
With Holloman.
It was clear and concise. Yes, it was a very good communication.
AJ, one other question. How many of the analog radios did we have in service? I know the jump is to 420, maybe, somewhere in there, 450 total.
I would probably venture to say we're probably 150 to 170 analog radios right now.
So we'll triple our capacity
Yes, sir.
in radios in hand.
Yes, sir. We have, if I'm not mistaken, 3 campuses that already have the digital radios in hand.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Is that right? 3?
I have a couple of questions, or maybe a comment first. The comment is that in anticipation of this, for those who don't know, our board set aside a significant amount of money for security improvements for the district in anticipation of following our security audit. So we've set aside from our current fund balance $2.5 million. So this is that's where the funding comes from. So because we did an audit, security audit, and we're following up on a number of the recommendations. So that's where our funding comes from for this. So I appreciate Jeff and AJ and the rest of the group as far as making sure that we continue to address the security needs on our campuses. The question I have has to do with, there's a significant difference in the bid price. And I wasn't at the at our pre-agenda last week, so help me understand, are they both bidding the same type of equipment? You know, it's an
No.
interesting, anytime somebody bids twice as much as someone else, I have concerns, so.
We had our recommended equipment that we wanted them to bid on, and the number 2 bidder actually went out and bid on different equipment than what was spec'd, and their repeater was dramatically more expensive. I did go out on the internet and searched and looked for pricing of the repeater that we requested, and their pricing is in line with what we received.
Okay, so we feel confident that they, you know, we're getting what we're paying for, in other words.
Yes.
And that the other company, because they bid a different repeater, then there's
Right,
a significant addition in cost.
Yes, they bid completely different equipment.
Okay.
Are we bidding equipment, like Mr. Turner said, we already have digital
Yes.
radios? We were bidding what we were already happy with.
Right.
Okay, thanks. That helps.
One more point of reference: in the event that this item passes, it's only a portion of that $2.5 million upgrade. This bid is only for $200,000 and some change. So not all that's going into radios. Not all that security upgrade is going just into radios.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Dindal. The bid is just barely over $200,000. So even though that's a significant amount of money, again, we've set aside, you know, $2.5 million to continue to address security within the district. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move we approve the administration's recommendation to contract with Houston Communications to install repeaters where needed and provide 450 digital handheld radios with proposed accessories at a bid price of $200,574.03.
Second.
Thanks. We have a great motion from Mr. Parker, including the 3 cents, and we have a second from Mr. Gallegos. Do we have any further board comment or questions? Any public comment? If not, all in favor of our motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. Our next item is item 16 to consider, bid number 18-013, which is Central Freshman Campus HVAC equipment for Central Freshman Campus.
Due to the scale of the HVAC system at Central Freshman Campus, this project was divided into 2 phases. This bid is Phase 2 and will replace the rooftop air handlers in the main building. This bid will provide for all the materials and labor to demo and replace the existing units and add ventilation in the hallways as well. We received 2 bids on this project. Only one bid received contained all required documents within the bid packet. This bid includes a $50,000 contingency in the event of unanticipated conditions are encountered during the project construction. The administration recommends awarding this project to Midtex for the total of $668,000. That includes a $50,000 contingency.
Thanks, Jason. Any comments or questions? Again, this is the second phase of our HVAC work at the Central Freshman Campus. I have a question on the, one company didn't provide a bid bond. What would the cost of a bid bond be? Like 10% of the job, or is that fair? Or
It's 5% of their bidded price.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right. I mean, we have a relatively new bidder, and I'm excited that we have that they're involved. And
Absolutely.
I think anytime you have multiple bids on projects of this scope, it's important. So we want to continue to work with all the bidders as best we can, and I know you're doing that. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments?
Jason, I know it's a time-sensitive project, and so Midtex has agreed to the timeline they'll be in and out in time to have the CFC campus back up
Yes.
and ready to go by August, whatever that magic date we put on the contract.
We actually put the date of July 22nd as the
Oh, good.
finish date
Okay,
to make
good.
sure we had plenty of padding.
All right, thank you.
Midtex has done excellent work for us historically, so.
Yes.
Any other comments or questions from our board team? Do we have a motion to approve? Since I have it in front of me, I'll make it. It says, I'll make a motion that we approve the administration's recommendation of awarding HVAC system at Central Freshman Campus, awarding that project to Midtex for a total of $668,000, and that total includes a $50,000 contingency.
Second.
So we have a motion from Mr. Lehman and multiple seconds from Mr. Parker and Mr. Gallegos. Do we have any other board comment or questions? Any public comment? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying no. Our motion passes. That covers our board agenda this evening. Our item 17 is our announcements. We've got our special finance and pre-agenda board workshop scheduled for May 14th. We have our regular board meeting on May 22nd. We have Pay's graduation May 23rd. Site to be determined.
Still.
Okay.
But that date has moved to Wednesday instead of Thursday.
Yes, it is on the 23rd, and we'll need to know.
Okay. So we can work on that between now and then, huh? Okay? Unless anybody want to accept the class. No, they're willing to do that at this particular time. I'll check.
Put that on, I'm sorry, Mr. Lehman, do they put that on the
program?
Ceremony, the program, yes, sir.
That's what I was wondering, if there's a
Because if they do,
timeline
they're
needed.
probably gonna, they're gonna probably need that pretty soon.
Mr. Gallegos is waiting
Oh,
to see it.
I accepted the fall class. I was pointing to Art and expecting
Because they said for Central too, right?
Yeah, we need to know for Central
Yeah,
Athletic.
I'll do the Central one.
I don't mind doing both. I don't mind doing both.
So Amy says she'll do Pays. She would love to do Pays. And
I will be at Lakeview, and they've already put my name on the
Mr. Dendel's going to accept the graduating class at Lakeview, and Art indicates that he would like to accept the Central High School graduation class. So, Art gets to do it again in 2 years. I don't know. We may not let you do it. So we'll think about that, Becky. Okay. We don't want to show too much favoritism to Art. So we'll Art has a son graduating in 2 years, so I'm sure he's going to want to do that.
So do I. So do I.
So we'll have double. So maybe an arm wrestling match?
No, that's easy. Art just won't show up. Or they'll have a flat.
Okay. All right, we digress. So Central High School's graduation is Saturday, May the 26th at ASU Janelle Center, and Lakeview High School's graduation is the same day at 4 p.m. at the Foster Communications Coliseum. So do we have any other business prior to adjourning? If not, hearing no objection, we'll stand adjourned.